weekend that you will remember. It is a weekend that will be educational. It's a weekend that will be of action. It's a weekend that we are hoping will go back to all of your states, get the community riled up, get up in the face of the legislators, and be certain to tell them to pass the For the People Act. And DC statehood. I'm Attorney Daryl Jones. I'm the board chair of the Transformative Justice Coalition, as well as the co-leader with, and you're going to hear from our founder as well as the president in just a moment. But I wanted to just take this moment to thank all of you for coming out for this event. You didn't have to get on that bus and come on to DC, but you elected to do it. And what we're
come out because it's important for us to come out.
all right. And we want to be certain that we service you well, and that's what we're attempting to do tonight. We're going to be talking about the March on Washington and some reflections, some memories, and some other things with regards to tactical pieces that went into the March on Washington. The concept tonight is to give you the framework for what you're about to experience tomorrow. And then after you march and rally tomorrow, you're going to come back tomorrow night for dinner here, and we're going to have a talk about the future, what to do now. That's the focus. So on behalf of the Transformative Justice Coalition, I wanted to welcome everyone here. We have a special prayer, special moment of silence that I'm going to ask that we take for one of our partners, one of my friends, one of Dr. Arnwine's very good friends, Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., who has been working with us on this event from day one. And once he contracted the coronavirus, he and his wife, Jacqueline, he's unable to be here tonight. We have been in constant contact with him. He's doing well. He's doing well. He's resting. He's doing well. He would, I can, and Barbara will correct me if I'm wrong, but I know she won't. If he could be here tonight,
please,
he would be right here.
Oh yes,
he would be right here, and that's just the type of leader that he is, the type of person that he is, the type of man that he is. So I'm going to ask that we take just a moment of silence and raise your own personal prayer for Reverend Jackson and his wife, Jacqueline. Thank you. So I wanted to take a moment now to do an introduction before we go into the panel discussion. And one of the things that is a joy about working with the Transformative Justice Coalition is I get to work with a leader, a founder, a president that simply said, there are no limits, Daryl, do what you want to do. If you have an idea, let's run with it. If I said, let's go to the moon, she'd say, let's have a picture when we get there. It's that type of leader that is really my pleasure to work with, and we form such a strong partnership in what we're trying to do with the Transformative Justice Coalition, and what we've been able to achieve over the last 18 or so months has just been incredible. I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to some others, someone who I consider a friend. She is the founder as well as the president of the Transformative Justice Coalition. She also is the president emeritus of the Lawyers Commission for Civil Rights under law. She's considered their founder. We simply refer to her as the mother, the queen of election protection. She's no other than Barbara Arnwine.
Queen of election protection. Queen of election protection.
And Barbara, I know you want to do a special welcome.
all
So
right.
a couple of words.
Well, first of all, are we blessed?
Yeah.
You see, last night I was up all night and all morning, and I was talking to the people from St. Louis. And the bus was getting ready to go out. I was talking to the people from good old, you know it's real Savannah. Come on now, Houston rolled out 2 buses.
2 buses.
In a row. Each day. I was talking to good old, amazing, not playing Detroit. And then not to be outdone, Milwaukee. And it was hilarious to just, New York City, now let me tell you something about New York real quick. New York City said to us on Tuesday, they said, we want a bus. Why everybody else got a bus? New York doesn't have a bus. That's not fair. And I said, you know what I said? I said, you want a bus, you got a bus.
That's right.
And they are here. Of course now, come on now. You come on now. You can't have no broken Liberty Bell. And you can't have Cato out there at the City Hall. If you ain't talking about one Philadelphia! They're killing it. But South Carolina now, let me tell you something about South Carolina. South Carolina called us up. No, I take that back. South Carolina wrote me and said, what's wrong with you? We don't have a bus. That's not right. I thought Barbara would treat us better than that. And I said, you want a bus? You got a bus. And South Carolina came. And not only South Carolina said, we got to be like Georgia. We're not just going to send one city. We're going to send Charleston and Columbia. Go on now. Go on, South Carolina. And Greenville. Good old Greenville. That's right. See, look at that. See, that's stuck in they get another one. And then, of course, we all know that you don't talk about nobody's civil rights if you're not talking about the ATL. Atlanta! And the mighty Helen, Butler of the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda. Helen, stand up there. Oh, there you go. And we had to I wanted to tell you guys a story, and this is just the truth. Birmingham was scheduled to have a bus. The driver got ill, and not only did they pull the driver, they pulled the bus. We tried for hours. They went out there, and their bus was, I think, due to leave at 12. And they called me and said, I called them and said, we got a problem. I hear that we don't have a bus, we don't have a driver. They said, we're going and waiting. 7 hours later, the word was that they could not get a bus. I picked up the phone and I called them, all the people who were still left, because they would not quit. And I said to those 5 people, you got a flight. Go to the airport.
Woo!
So when people got that kind of faith, that kind of determination, you got to reward it. You don't turn your back on people. We're all in this together. But you see, folks, Maryland wanted us to know.
That's right. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's right.
So, Baltimore and Annapolis. folks is that they showed up and said, "We ready here to work."
That's right.
They sat down and started working
That's
the
right.
registration desk. You know, you got to understand, Florida said, "You took away our bus, but we coming anyway." They said, because there weren't enough people, but we going to come anyway. So they drove up the highway and followed the bus.
I'm talking about.
I just want you to understand, Virginia, people got in cars and came. Charlotte, North Carolina had a bus.
All right, Charlotte.
And Wilmington and all these places, Daryl, I could go on because I was on the phone with him. Philadelphia, you got a flat tire.
Right.
I said, oh no.
Oh, no.
I was on the phone with Savannah. Where's our bus? I was on the phone with St. Louis. Where's our bus? New York City. Where in the world is our bus? So we had a night last night and all this morning. But you know one thing? You know one thing that's indisputable that nobody can question? You're right here.
That's right.
And I gotta also say, you know, when God is in the blessing business, He doesn't stop.
That's right.
He doesn't stop. You can't even predict your blessings.
That's right.
This morning, I get a call. And the call is from one of my dear sisters. And that's my sister sitting next to me.
All right.
You know, if you want a fighter, if you want a brilliant, one of the highest intellectuals of our nation, not to mention the world, if you want to talk about somebody who can break it down, take it and reconstruct it, deconstruct, we're talking about one amazing person. She called me up and guess what she said? She said, Barbara, you need me? Do you need me? I said, honey, I said, do I ever need you? And that's Dr. Julian. She got off of her red eye. She flew all night and still said, do you need me? You see, that's what builds movement. That's what makes the power. That's why we know that we're going to win this battle.
That's right. That's
right. That's why we have no doubt about what we are able to do and what we can accomplish. Not only because our brothers and sisters in Texas can show people what to do.
That's right.
Not only because of that, but because of all of you and your beauty, your strength, your spirit, your commitment, all that work you do every day on the ground. You know, you may not get that thank you every day, but let me tell you that in the heart of one Barbara Arnwine, there's a thank you every single moment. Because we know how important you are. And then lastly, but never least, I want to thank the behind-the-scenes people. Yes. I want to thank one Yolanda Coley who did all these moves. Because all of you have talked to her. I want to thank one Lynn Whitfield who put together all this mighty work. I want to thank all the people, Cynthia Robbins, all the people who are with us who have been doing this work, but I couldn't do a darn thing. Not without my God, but also without the great man that He's put in my way to stand next to me, and that's one Daryl D.
Allegedly.
Thank you, Barbara. You know, when we first started marching across the country as the Transformative Justice Coalition, it was in December of 2020. went into the election cycle. It was just at that moment that COVID had taken hold.
My mind.
And they decided that it was too dangerous for people to gather anywhere. But we were determined that we were going to have voter meetings. We were determined that we were going into communities of color, and we were going to encourage them to come out and vote. That's what we did. We went over 55 different cities throughout America. We had partners like the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda. Went down into Atlanta. Walked arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder with them. Appropriately spaced at times, masked if necessary.
Always.
And we did this. And we were determined that we were going to do all that we could to have the African American community, the Latino community, the young community, seniors come out and vote. And they did in numbers. But one of the things that we did not anticipate happening was the development of an anthem, that we would have an artist
Yes.
that would say, I've created a song based on what you've done. I've created a song based on the life of John Lewis that you've been lifting up. And we want to preview that song for you here this evening, along with the video that they've also produced to go along with it. So if our technical people are ready.